Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We weren't planning on having a press conference, to be quite honest with you, but when we got the number of inquiries far-reaching from all of the media, we felt a responsibility to kind of get out there and give you accurate first-hand information, most especially for the parents of the children, that not only those that were involved, but those that are attending the camp and were there when all of this commotion went on today. I am Angie Carpenter. I'm the supervisor of the town of Islip, and I'm joined this afternoon by my colleagues on the town board, John Cochrane, Councilman, and from the town of Brookhaven, Neil Foley, Councilman. From Good Samaritan Hospital, we have their Chief Medical Officer, Dan Teplitz, along with Justin Jason. I know he's around here somewhere. And from Southside, from Northwell, we have Dr. Scanlon and Dr. Ramo, and they'll be up to give you some more information also. We run a camp at Atlantique. It is very, very popular. It runs all summer long. It's a week-long experience for the kids from about 10 or 11 years up till 15, and they absolutely love it. An entire day, lunch, everything that goes on, experiencing the beauty of the water. They are obviously in the water at some point during the day, and today one of our young campers was on a boogie board. A wave knocked him off and he actually got bit. He walked out of the water. The lifeguard was watching him come out, went right over to him, saw that he was bleeding. They immediately brought him over to the tent and started taking care of him, dressing the wound. One of our other lifeguards actually happens to be a medical student, so he got first-class care until the emergency responders answered. Were able to get to Atlantique. And that was from Ocean Beach. The chief of the fire department and rescue, Chief Ian Levine, was on the scene, and they were able to treat him, contact the Marine Bureau, Suffolk County Marine Bureau, who transported the young boy off the beach. Again, he walked onto the boat, walked off the boat, so he is in good condition, certainly being taken care of. There was another incident at Sailor's Haven, a young lady. The boy that was in our camp was 13. The young lady at Sailor's Haven was 12. I know that her dad's been already giving interviews and everything, but both of these young kids, thank God, are okay. And we're seeing this as an opportunity to remind everyone the water is beautiful. It is magnificent here on the South Shore of Long Island, but the water can be treacherous, so you need to be careful at all times. We immediately, obviously, contacted the parents, and you know, the word got out there. We are just so grateful that he is safe, that they're both safe. So I would like to ask Dr. Temlitz, Don from Good Sam, to kind of give us an update on the young lady.
Sure. Hi, good afternoon. I'm happy to report that the patient was received at Good Samaritan Hospital, is stable, receiving the appropriate treatment, and we'll have a further report later this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
Sure.
And, you know, it's ironic. We have two first-class hospitals here in the town of Islip in pretty close proximity to each other, and one of the victims went to Good Sam, the other went to Southside. The young boy, our camper, went to Southside, and I would ask Dr. Scanlon and Ramo if they would please come forward.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
I do have to echo what Angie said, is that there are two world-class hospitals here that take care of this community, and that is an amazing thing. And thanks so much, Don. So Don and I are colleagues together. We had the young boy, as you say, walked into our hospital as well. So you know that the boy is doing well. I know you have a ton of questions specific to the boy, specific to the girl, but that's not for us to answer. That's the privacy of that. But we know that they're doing well. They're both in good institutions, and we're taking great care of them. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I would like to just tell everyone that the beaches were immediately closed, all of our beaches on the ocean. We called, because we got the call right away from Chief Levine, actually called me. We immediately called the town of Babylon, town of Brookhaven, actually New York State Parks, Chip Gorman, He did not know about it. So I think what I'd like everyone to take away from this is that there's a tremendous amount of communication and information sharing whenever there's any kind of situation in our towns. And certainly from the good town of Brookhaven, our neighbor to the east, we have Councilman Neil Foley. Neil, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Supervisor. And I guess the message here is communication. I represent the 5th Council District of Brookhaven, miles and miles of beach, and the key is, as much as it's beautiful, it can be treacherous and dangerous, especially with riptides, and now we're dealing with some attacks today. So I guess the word is getting it out and helping educate our folks to be careful but enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. You know, you talk about getting the word out. We had a press conference earlier about 2 or 3 weeks ago on pool safety and swimming safety in general, but we never touched on possibly sharks. And I do say possibly because it really, as far as we're concerned, has not been totally confirmed. I would like to ask our Chief Lifeguard, Craig Amirando, who is responsible particularly for Atlantique Beach down there, to please come forward and give us a little bit, without getting too specific, of what went on today.
Hello everyone. Yes, I was working today at Atlantique Beach, and I would like to commend the lifeguards that were on duty today. Miss Bella Cohen, she rescued the boy right away, escorted him out of the water. Like Miss Carpenter said, we had him under our tent administering first aid right away. That's when we noticed the puncture wounds, and we figured it was a shark bite right away. We dressed the wounds appropriately. Like Miss Carpenter said, the EMS came and they took our dressings off because they wanted to see the wounds, and that's when they confirmed also not only was it a shark bite, but they found one of the teeth still inside the boy. So the boy was very brave. He was alert the whole time. He was scared, of course, but he was a brave boy, and the police took him off, and I'm sure he's doing fine right now. But again, I just wanted to commend my lifeguard corps today at Atlantique. They did, once again, an awesome job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, I couldn't help but think that when these kids go back to school in September and the teacher asks them to write about what they did this summer, they're definitely going to have something to report. I would also like to recognize Tim Mooney, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Fire Island Ferries. They do an incredible job here transporting hundreds of thousands of people across this bay every summer, and they are entrusted with our campers every year. So we thank you for the good care that you take with our campers and all of our residents that go back and forth. This is most unusual, and I think, I don't know if you can report to that from the hospital point of view, but how many of these have you seen?
Oh, how many how many sharks bites do we ever have?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
However,
this was
by 2.
Yeah, this was an incredibly unusual situation, to say the least. Obviously, from the turnout of the media and the interest of what was going on. Councilman Cochrane, a Navy veteran who is very familiar with the waters, diver and everything, you might be able to answer that, John.
Thank you, Supervisor. Yes, right now this is the breeding season. The sharks are spawning. You've reported on the great white spawns off of the Amagansett, the bull sharks, the other tiger, the sand sharks. They're all breeding right now. So out in Hampton Bays last weekend, I witnessed actually 10 baby sharks that actually washed up on shore. So they're finding the most shark attacks happen in the surf zone. Sharks are blind. They go over the electric posts of a body or a fish, and this boy just ended up falling off his boogie board in the wrong place. And most of the shark bites that happen are hit and runs. The shark bites and takes off. So there's a lot of spawning going on. Well, that's why we have great lifeguards. If the lifeguards are up higher, usually they'll have the, but if it's murky water and these fish are feeding, there's a lot of bait fish in the ocean right now, a lot of bunker. Talked to a lot of my fishermen, they're catching some big fish out there, and if there's a fish, there's going to be predators.
Our town beaches on the ocean have been closed for the rest of the day, and we will make that assessment tomorrow morning as to whether or not they will reopen. But certainly the beaches will be open. It's a matter of whether or not they'll be allowed in the water. But our camp program obviously will be in operation tomorrow, because it's more than just going in the water that is the experience for the camper for the day. Okay, you raise a very interesting point to the question earlier about how often does this happen? Never. So we've developed a protocol, and certainly we'll be alerting all of the parents if there is an incident that they should be made aware of. But certainly the parents of the young boy who was bit were contacted immediately. All right? Thank you, Pete. You know, someone had reported to me that was speaking with someone in the hospital. And in fact, I wanted to introduce our Deputy Commissioner of Parks, Deirdre Wahlberg, who really rose to the occasion today and was there with us as this was all going on. But that the young boy was in incredibly wonderful spirits. You know, he was kind of joking about it. So again, we are so very grateful that no one was seriously injured, and you know, that's about it.